Hello everyone, my name is Sudharmadi and I'm a student majoring English Language Education Department from Hindu State University, Igusti Bagus Sugirwa Denpasar. And now, in this video, I would like to explain an presentation my material, Essentialism Education Concept. So first, I would like to explain what is Essentialism philosophy. So according to Indonesian dictionary, essentialism comes from verb essensi, which means the essence or basis, and to add it to essential, which means very principal, very influential, or very necessary. Essentialism is known as an educational movement and also as a school of educational philosophy. Next, I want to explain about the background of this essentialism. This concept of education first appeared during the Renaissance. One of the pioneers was William C. Berkeley. He said that the progressive movement have undermined intellectual and moral standards among young people. Essentialism, which has some similarities to perennialism, argues that our culture already has a core of general knowledge that must be imparted in school to the student. And unlike the perennialism, which teaches numbers of members of external truth, essentialism tells what support knowledge and skill are believed too important so that the member of society should know. And essentialism helps to return subject matters to the center educational process. But does not the perennialism view that true subject matter is an eternal reality present in the major book of Western civilization? And according to the concept of essentialism, change is a reality that cannot be changed in social life. The knowledge of evolution of human in history, but that evolution must occur as a result of continuous social pressure. Change occurs as a human intelligent ability that is able to recognize the need for ways of acting, organization, and social function. Next, I want to explain about the principle of essentialism education. So, some of philosophical principles that underlie the concept of essentialism education, such first is human nature, or in Indonesia, it's called hakikat manusia. So, humans have intelligence, they are able to think and therefore can adapt to their world so they can survive in their struggle to face the external world. And according to ontological view, this means after all the forms, characteristic and action of human must be adapted to their rules that government all the world have. The second is the essence of reality, or hakikat realitas. It is called objective realism because it has a systematic view of nature, the place of human in it. This means that even a simple event can be explained by natural laws, such as the gravitation of the earth. And the last is the essence of value, or hakikat nilai. Value is essentially derived from absolute reality. And an absolute reality is a real thing that is really exists and that is absolute. And therefore, values are immortal and external. Realist philosophers believe that the standard of value of human behavior is regulated by natural laws and to lesser extent government by convention or custom in society. Next, we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is characteristic, and some of characteristic of the concept of educational essentialism are: the first is learning effort that can attract student. Interests are more desirable than the desire to learn from the student themselves. And the second is the educational demands of adults have been instilled to our minds since our childhood. The third, discipline is the main thing in learning. And the last is essentialism offers a solid, strong theory to the student. And this is the figures of the essentialism education. The first is William C. Bagley. He said that student interests grow from interesting learning with an adult guidance, and the goal is to be disciplined. And Johann Friedrich Hebert, he said that education aims to adjust one's soul to the will of God, which is obtained by teaching and learning. And next, we have William T. Harris. He said the purpose of education is to find reality, and a school must maintain traditional values as a guide for people's life. And the last is Johann Friedrich Froebel. He said that children are very creative and education must be lead them to realize their self and maintain their own character. In conclusion, concept education for school must educate students to communicate clearly and logically. School also have responsibility to pay attention to whether all students master basic subjects such as reading, writing, arithmetic, and others. Education must be practical, provide logical teaching, and also school must try to influence and or establish social policies. Next is the role of school on teacher. So the school is the place for students to learn knowledge, learn about attitude, and improve their skill. And then the role of teacher is as a mentor, directing, inspiring, and evaluating students so that the student can improve themselves and continue to develop. And next material is education environment. So you might wondering why this is so important to students. So I will explain here. Educational environment can help child have interaction. In addition, the educational environment also can help children to learn general behavior and prepare for certain role in society. So the first environment is family. So we might know family is the first environment for individual where child interact. From this interaction, the child will then acquire the basic elements and characteristics of personality formation. And this is the reason why family has very important role in the growth of the younger generation. And next is school. School play an important role in education and character building of children. School education is called formal education that has objective basic method. This basic method that are arranged, explicit, systematic, and standardized. So in school, students can also interact with friends and teacher. And the last is public education. This education that supports family and education school and the school education, And the public has a great influence in giving direction to children's education, especially community leaders or role in it. And this is because children will hang out and meet many people in community so that their character can be affected by surrounding environment. And public education is the last thing to do, but we can have a big impact in person's life because it has a very broad scope influencing such as social, culture, tradition, and condition of the local community. And finally, we are in the last material is the implication of essentialism education. So the first is definition of education. So education must be based on cultural values that have existed since the beginning of human civilization, because that culture has been tested in all ages, conditions, and history, which means that schools are institutions that maintain values that have been passed on from generation to generation and become a guide for people's lives in society. The second is the purpose of education. Education aims to explain culture to ensure social solidarity and general welfare, so that a good school is a school that prioritizes the needs of community. And the third one is teachers' role in education. Teachers should play an active role in learning. Teacher is a person in charge to organize the whole education methods. Good knowledge distributor, the one who give evaluation and responsible for all the learning process in school. And the number third is students' role in education. The role of student is to learn, not to organize lessons. Learning means accepting and truly recognizing social values by the new generation that would pass on the next generation. And fifth is curriculum in education. The curriculum or educational content must be planned and organized by adults or teachers representative of society or society center. The society center curriculum states that social rules and social interaction must be the main determinant in the curriculum. And essentialism curriculum is like perennialism, namely a subject matter centered curriculum. And the last is method of education. Essentialism suggests that school retain traditional methods of dealing with mental discipline in the form of the lecture method, which provides the behavioral change to students that arise from teacher experience. The problem-solving methods does have its benefit, but is not producer that can apply in all learning activities. And the reason is the most of students' knowledge are abstract and cannot be broke down into this problem. In addition, that learning basically involves hard work and it is necessary to emphasize discipline. So that was my presentation about essentialism education, and I would like to apologize if I did some mistakes in this presentation. Thank you.